So, very good afternoon, everyone. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
wonderful. It is slightly different than it was planned, so that's why I really request that discipline from the audience, that whatever is possible, please mute yourself. Also, sometimes the thing is when the connection breaks and you are joining back, again, please check if your phone is on mute, because otherwise we are going to have a lot of disturbance, and then Shobita from the back end will have a lot of problems in muting every one of you. So we are going to start in a way with a kind of a one-way presentation, and then later on I hope it will be possible, based on the audience and the size of the audience, that we are going to unmute individual, and whoever would like to contribute to the topic is most welcome, because it is always a very dynamic thing. Market is very dynamic, the situation is really dynamic, and as of now I don't think that anyone will have the master key in resolving all the unexpected problems, because when we go through the presentation, and there we have a lot of inputs from our industry friends, from the leaders of the Indian uPVC industry, and when we read those comments, then we know that we are all together in an uncertain kind of a situation. I would like to start with my wish-announcement from, I think it was February or March 2021, when I had the hope that 2021 should be the year of the window manufacturer, the most underestimated trade, the window manufacturer. It should be us who should be regarded, awarded, acknowledged, and it should have been our year. Now, we as a community, we have to decide ourselves, was it our year? Have we actually made it? In terms of numbers, we have confirmed made it, because as per our UWDMA and industry friends' latest research, that across the country, we have now more than 3,000 companies producing uPVC doors and windows. And this is, of course, an amazing number, looking in the situation which we had like 15 years ago or 20 years ago, when everything had started over here with just a handful of people. Therefore, 3,000 is a good number. Now we have to have everyone happy, everyone busy, everyone successful, because the best products are reaching our customer. Today, with the cost factor, I would like to take the first couple of minutes in going through the cost factor analysis, what we are doing actually since the last 6 years now, since the year 2016. We are talking about everything except material. This I would like only to showcase very quickly. And then also we do have the link. Shobita is sharing the link. It is already in recorded session. They are on YouTube, and whatever figure we had calculated at this point of time is there, that it not just profiles hardware and glass and silicon installation material, that we have many more things to look into. And there, of course, it is important that we analyze them, that we know our cost, because only when we know our cost, we will be able to give our correct pricing. Of course, yes, we do have our manpower cost, our salary of the production staff and the delivery staff, as it means if the transport is there. We do have the shop floor cost, like the rent of the factory and all other things like electricity or anything related to those costs, where when you have not made a single window, okay, electricity would not be there, but in the other way around, rent and the salary needs to be paid even if your factory is not running. Then another part of the overhead cost, also mostly not really considered, is of course that you have your office team sitting over there. You have to pay the salary to the office team. You have to pay salaries, of course, to the sales team. You may have your marketing costs like brochures, flyers, advertisement, participation in an exhibition, and other offering running costs, paper, printout, tea, and so on. All these costs is also a good bunch of costs to be covered as well, should not be forgotten. Unexpected losses, this is also especially when we work in large-scale projects, or projects which are going over a longer period of time, considering at many places still the road condition. We can have a transport damage, we can have production mistake, measurement mistake, so then we can have site damage and loss to do and handing over delay, that over a couple of time a glass breaks and hardware gets damaged because the customer hasn't taken the handling over because the site or the project wasn't ready. So these kind of losses, you should really from time to time, especially now when the financial year is over, analyze it, what was there during the last year or last to last year, so that you have your own ballpark figure, how much loss it will be there. Non-performing assets, of course, I hope now what from the industry, especially from our raw material supplier, we are getting forced to and tighten more tighter payment terms, which is really going to save all of us in the industry. That what we have bill deduction without clarification, non-payment because the project has shut it down, and for some time now, maybe because of Corona, even more, or revamping or not revamping, additional discount to be given to close the deal, take this payment, countersign, final and off, and additional discount to be given because there was maybe mistakes, flaws in installation, or mistake occurred up during the handing over, where it would be then, okay, either you replace it or you give me 10,000, 20,000 or whatever as an additional discount and make the final handing over and get out. You as the owner, you should, or as a senior employee, you should know this cost. From time to time, you go through it and then you check it with our UTMA once. Finance cost, of course, loan taken. You have taken maybe a loan to finance your building, what you have made up, or for your plant and machineries where you have invested, or you have taken loans to pre-finance the projects to keep the stock in place. Then, of course, we have to finance our outstanding cost when we do give credits in the market. Then we do need to pay to our supply chain. We do need to pay our taxes. We do need to pay to our employees. But maybe I'm not getting the full cost. And as we know that everyone is working on a very, very thin margin, these finance costs also to be considered, especially when I have loans, sometimes even unsecured loans, where the interest rate is super, super high. It should not be forgotten. Point number 7 is also a big problem, I would say, in the country, that we really need to consider this, because when today your machines are new, but after 5, 6, 7, 8 years, your machines are down and you need to invest again, then of course the balance sheet gives you actually the chance in making the provision. But are you really considering this money, and are you really keeping this money beside that at times when the machineries needs to be reinvented, new investment needs to be taken, that provisions are taking care of this? This was what our calculation, and this is the same since the last 6 years. Also it means overall, and even when we would say maybe still high, I would never be able to reach 200 rupees fabrication cost in retail, or I would never reach to this 56 rupees fabrication cost in project business. But this was the cost analysis, what we have actually done, and reconfirmed that when we have made our road shows, there, of course, the presentation is much bigger. We are saying, is this your salary cost? Yes. Is this the amount what you are going to spend in rent? Yes. This is maybe your production loss, your transport cost, whatever is there in detail. And when your time permits, whoever wasn't a part of it so far, please go to the YouTube link, watch it, and then challenges us. We would be really also know if we are completely on the wrong side, maybe we are even too low, or maybe we are even much too high. This is something where feedback, of course, from the entire uPVC fraternity is needed, and where we would be really, really happy in getting your comments and your information as well. So far, so good. This was about overheads. Now jumping into the hot and new topic in the uncertain times, where our industry is in the entire country, in the entire world, is going at the moment. Yes, this is one more slide. This is the YouTube link. I think Shobita is going to have it already in the chat box, so that whoever is there, we can share it offline as well. Take out your time, whenever your time permits, and go through it. Now we have made a kind of question research to the industry leader. What has changed in terms of pricing over the last 2 years? And this is the information what we got, and we have taken out only few ones who are the most active member in our UTMA. So, and from therefore, maybe when you utilize another system in terms of profile, hardware or steel, kindly also check. But I think definitely we are going to be all on the same side, where we are talking about profiles 40 to 50%, 45 to 50%, or with the new player in the market with our friends from Gealan, who are just entered, I think, a year back, that in the last 1 year already, they also had to have a price increase of 21%. As a 40 to 50% is actually this, what was happening when the pandemic started to where we are today. Going to the next wing in terms of hardware, of course, what is produced or traded here in India. When we have PEGO or we have Insta, we have around, again, 35, 30, 30%, 35. Siegenia, wonderful if you can really make, as of now, with 13%, but all the others, whoever we are talking to, it is around really 1/3 the price of raw material, or the price, your purchase price has actually really increased. Going to the sealants, there we have 50 to 65, AMIT is saying, since 2020. And yes, this we also know, nickel and whoever is there from the steel reinforcement supply chain, it is almost double. It is double during the last 2 years. It is crazy. It is super crazy that this became really double. And also where the current, what everyone knows, most of the hikes are coming from the glass industry. The glass processors are telling me that their input cost has increased by almost 80%, and they have given almost 60% to the rate which was there in early 2020 to the consumers, to us as the fabricator. So this is where we are standing, and no one can deny this. This is what we are going to pay, all of us, what all of us are going to pay extra compared to the time which was there the moment the pandemic has actually started. Do the window fabricator, now important for us. Now we got an order, oh my God, what to do? I don't know for how long this project will go. In what way should I actually react? What can we do? Do the window fabricator, us, do we have a chance to block the price? For example, when we get some advanced or a good amount of advanced, we'll pass it through we are giving it to the raw material supplier. What is the answer? Also very, very possible, very, very important for everyone to know where we are standing there actually in detail. It is not possible because from our side, suppliers are also not doing it. For a long, big run, it is again a problem because the gross margin and the net margins are going, when we have the 30%, and this nice detail given by Satish, we are going through in the end of the presentation more in detail. So, but here we can already see that on the ground, the price to pre-COVID to today is double. The price of their raw material, even when, let me go one slide back, when we are showcasing over here that they have the double input on raw material on their end and giving just, still a big problem for us, for everyone, 50% to us, or what we do have in the glass industry when they have 80% and giving it in detail to us. And of course, for reinforcement, where there is only a small overhead conversion margin, it jumps drastically in the same way. So now here in steel, we can say, yes, this is possible. If you give a good amount of advance, then maybe they can stock, or they are stocking it for you so that you can block the price up to a certain extent for a particular order. And from the hardware industry, what we are hearing here, which is quite also good for projects which are going in a normal round, but not for years. Yes, but only for a short period of time. Then Karan says, okay, it will work, but again, only for a short period of time when they have 50% of the advanced with them, as the main factor is the raw material. And then we are saying here from Insta that 60 to 90 days. Also this option is there. It should be also there, whatever advance you get, either you purchase. If you have really the chance of stocking, if your store, your warehouse is big, then make it so that at least on today's rate, where you have actually sold the project, on today's rate, the raw material or an amount X of raw material is actually really purchased. What do you predict about future? How much price? What do you think? How much is going to go up during the coming few months? And is this again the same for everyone? Very difficult question. We are not able to answer since the last 3 months. Raw material prices have stated again to go up. Just not about the reason, the uPVC, also titanium, the impact modifier. No one can actually say how much. AMIT is saying we are expecting at least 10 to 15% in the coming quarter. Satish is saying 10 to 15%, but minimum 5 in the next, and maybe 10 to 15 in the another quarter. And for Gealan, I think as of now, who are trading with the profiles, they are saying they also are not able to figure out what we see. It is unpredictable. So it means for us, when we are taking an order, when we are taking a large-scale project and someone wants to freeze the price for a long period of time, are we ready? Are we able to gamble? Are we allowed to gamble? Should we gamble? This is something where I would like to come later during the meeting to it, but honestly, it is, unfortunately, it is somehow at the end, it is gambling, because we don't know where it will go. Even our supplier are not knowing where it is actually going, and we want to give, or we should give, a price stability. This is a problem, and this we have to really deeply look into it. Nickel is saying 5 to 7%, 4% from Siegenia maybe. Then KARAN is presuming around 15%. Insta is also saying 10 to 20%. Also no one as of now presumes that during the next couple of months it is going to be stable or it is going to come back. In case yes, it would be super cool, but we cannot predict, because none of the business experts and who are since so long in the industry and with the wide knowledge about industry, India, across the world, no one can give any positive indication that a relaxation is going to come within a short period of time. This is, as of now, nothing what we can predict. So when you think the market becomes stable, is also a strange question. When we don't know how high it will go, then how can we even assume when it is going to become stable? And here again, we cannot see anything. From the COVID, now we are jumping into war and maybe one more COVID. No one knows. We can't forecast anything. AMIT is saying in case the war ends by the end of July, but then again, very unstable world. And SATISH is saying then it may continue even in 2023. 2021, we was presuming or afraid that it is going to go in 2022. And now 2022, we are assuming it may go even for a longer period. Again, nothing, no positive signal, no positive indication. And from Gealan, very hard to predict because the market is very, very unstable. Same comes with nickel, very difficult. Siegenia, very difficult. In the coming few months, not easy to see. KARAN is saying right now it's really difficult from Insta. So overall, it is very, very, very uncertain. How you are going to help your fabricators? Also a very, very important question. What I had shown actually in the first slide, when from profile or even for steel and even for hardware, for the items, when the incoming raw material cost is much larger than the amount what actually is passed through, then it is, as per my opinion, a very, very honest approach, that no one is taking any extra mileage out of it, that your previous supplier is, or your supplier is making 5 rupees and then you're making 10 rupees out of it. So in this way, of course, as we are all working together as an industry, only when we as fabricators are successful, our supply chain profile, hardware, glass, silicon, hardware can deliver to us at the price, or sorry, at the speed of time, profitably, the way and quick we need. So this is very good answer by SATISH. Training, hand-holding, and advice. Advice. Very good. What SATISH is doing, what we are trying to do here with UWDMA to reach to the entire industry, to give our opinions. And then we would like to get your opinion back in what way it can be done. Divide the risk in the business, work on cost plus in case if. This is also a point which I would like to take up later, so that if it works, if customer agreeing, but what he says, when for large-scale aluminum projects, developers are already accepting it. Maybe when we have this cost-plus model in our industry, at least for the large-scale projects, so then maybe we are the ones who are making the fabrication, is not shouldering the entire risk of any price hike. Of course, nickel, very short delivery time, good quality, the same like all the other steel, branded steel reinforcement company as well. Important is when you get your material quick. And despite of, there was, I think 1 year ago, there was an crisis that steel wasn't even available when your vendor has sufficient stock, because when they don't supply, then the price becomes secondary, because it is important, but it will stop your production. Same like last year when glass wasn't available, then you are ready to pay any price, because when your project stopped for one item, then it's a bigger problem. Also, of course, availability of raw material is the biggest support in this time what vendor can give, and whoever has really made it all the time in delivering on time, kudos, and of course, thank you from the entire industry fraternity. Active cost solution is Siegenia saying, yes, know your cost, bring down your cost, utilize it in the correct way. We are educating our fabricator, okay, to shift from one product to the other product wherever it is possible, while not compromising on the quality, because no one is benefited. For example, for steel, oh, the steel price has gone up, and instead of 1.5 I use 1.2, or 1.2 I use 1 millimeter, so that my price is the same. But yes, in the end, an inferior product is delivered. It saves me today, but tomorrow I will get a lot of problems because the product performance is also going down. This is another point where we really should be fair to the consumer, saying this is my price, or an escalation is there, but at this price, it is a problem when it goes up further. But these are discussions where today afternoon we would like to put some light on it. Also on our pricing, we are forced to increase, but we are trying to maintain the quality. This is really important, where at the end we have all plenty numbers of projects or references with us where something went wrong in the industry, and to cover those, then those negative examples can be given to showcase what risk is there when from the developer or from the customer side, when they are saying the price is everything else doesn't matter. Of course, quality and the good product stands first. This is very important that we are not going in the wrong direction. First policy that we are following, to hold in the price from the quarter to quarter. Okay, Karan, kudos if you can really make it on the quarter, and if you have really the chance to inform in advance so that the buyers, your customers, can book accordingly. This is also wonderful. What your point number 2 is similar to glass or similar to the profile, that whatever you are getting it, that you are absorbing at least bare minimum what you can do. Keep inventory. This is another point where I would like to highlight, once this is over, for us as the fabricators, what we should actually really do, and inventory level, so that you can at least supply, even if the price is higher, but your material is available and you have a chance to supply to your customers. So now coming to the other side of the table, for us as our fabricator friends, and we have tried, or we have contacted those who were there in 2021 in the broadcast. So, and we have asked some question, and let's see how the feedback is coming, how the feedback is going from our friends from the fabricator side. Have you actually increased the price of your windows proportionally to the increase of the raw material price? So yes, we have increased. Yes, we have increased, and yes, we have increased all the components of our system. Also, I think as of now, in today's scenario, there would be no one there who can say, hey, everything became double, but I just kept my price same. This point, at least we have to agree that all of us have increased. So, and now only the way forward, we should see again in detail. Question number 2, how you are fighting the situation when your raw material supplier will give you no price stability. How do you manage to give price stability to your end customers? Also, very important point, what Vera is writing there, that we made it for 13 days and now 15 days. My end same, that we are just giving 15 days as a price, as a limited time to the quotation proposal validity, so that we can see it in case something has increased, something has changed, so that at any point of time we do have the chances of tuning it further. Now we are saying from Lotus, we are saying in retail it is still manageable. So, but in big project, it occurs. Yes, the question is now from where the number or size of a big project starts. When we have a large retail site, which is 50 lakh plus or 1 crore, then of course it is also almost seen like a project, but you are right. So how to manage it, as smaller the project is and quicker the execution is, as more actually you can really manage. So Abhinav is saying, we don't do projects still manageable. We normally do retail sites only. So therefore we give the quotation for 1 month, and we try to give the quotation at the same point of time so that the validity of the 1 month is not exceeded. Also therefore we are discussing, make your quotation, put it in writing that at any point of time you have a chance to change it. And one more point is what we have to also find individually answers. Today is 1st of April. I'll give a price proposal for a duration till 15th of April. So now on 12th of April or 10th of April, the first changes of the quotation starts. Also it means then from 10th of April, I'm giving again 15 days, also till 25th. This is also a point internally which should matter. Or when you give 1 month, then even it is becoming more important, because on the 25th day, someone is asking for a price change, or sorry, for a design change. And then you should know, are you able to give it again for another 1 month, or how to handle this kind of situation? Small, tricky details, but in these days when everything is uncertain, each and every detail should be really carefully looked individually. And this is a point what today, the moment we are giving the open speech, should the window manufacturer have the right to cancel the contract any time with the customer in case of a certain hike of raw material price that can't be borne by him and resulting in huge losses to the window manufacturer. Yes, it should be there. Yes, definitely it should be there. It would help all the fabricators. Yes, it should be there. It will keep us safe from unexpected. So in this, what in the initial few slides back, what Satish already mentioned, what the aluminum large-scale projects are doing, that they are putting it on a cost X factor. Are we ready to make this kind of transparent pricing? Are we ready to move together forward? This is something where internally everyone has to decide on its own. But if it's a movement of the industry all together in the same direction, then of course it would help. One more point, what I would like to put some light into it, or what I would like to highlight about the execution time, because even if I'm only working in retail, someone got a good price and the financial year is closed and I have closed it, but my project will actually only come up in June, getting further delayed to September, or my project was closed now and it is going to delay till August, September, October. How to manage this? You got an order, retail or large project, and the execution starts much, much later. Now we have already heard that it is only not really possible in procuring everything, especially when the project is far ahead. How and what we can do there as the manufacturer to reduce this timing, or to put some kind of a gaps in that they are saying this is the kind of the limitation, what we can do, because just hypothetically, this is not in calculation, only in hypothetical calculation, if from my 100% of a sales price, if 75% is going into the material cost, I have a processing cost of 25%. Now, in case my material goes up by 15%, my sales price remains the same, and I'm now already at 86.25%. It means my processing has just become almost half. From 25, it has reduced to 13%, just half. But when the sales price overall remains the same. And in case when the project was lying down for a long time, purchase order with you, maybe advanced also with you, token advanced with you, or only the purchase order, and then the overall cost went up by 33%, an order which was booked maybe just or before the first lockdown. So, and then you only have to supply at the material cost level. This is very, very important that we internally analyze this on a real project to project, retail to retail order. We have to take care that no one, or that we are going to lose in case we are not taking care of this point. And in whatever smaller, tighter processing, I don't call it profit or margin, so whatever processing charges, fabrication, all the overheads plus profit, what we have covered in our actual costing, when we said 56 rupees for project or 100 rupees in retail, everything is going to eat away from there. Till here, you have maybe a chance when you have a lot of additional profitable orders, then you can, maybe you can make it. But as closer you go over here, when you're only selling material and you're not covering your cost, then we are going in a really, really bad situation altogether. Let me put some thoughts in. When in 2006, when I entered here in India, and today is actually my 16th birthday here in India, I landed first time in 5th of April in 2006. What was the king? The king was inventory. Because at this point of time, no one across, there wasn't any extrusion facility. There wasn't anyone who has made the hardware locally. And steel also wasn't available or just started. At this point of time, each and everything had to get imported. And there the king was who had the most of the stock, so that you still could deliver as the best possible way and at the fastest and the shortest time. So now in today's scenario, or pre-pandemic, we learned cash is king, stock not needed, make it on time, just in time, on time, just in time. And from this new world, actually, we have to go now back altogether. We have to go back to the old static world in saying stock is king. Because when the raw material goes up, and I had many discussions with uPVC industry people, even with the aluminum people, so that they are saying, oh, my inventory became just XY while doing nothing, because like a stock market, my stock value went just up. Therefore, my personal advice, whatever funds you have, you keep it in stock. Because as we know today, for the next couple of months, today we are in April, next half a year till September or whatever, it is not predicted from anyone that stock, that price purchase of material is going to come down at all. Therefore, when you calculate a price today, you try to buy it. You make your inventory, and even if the price goes down a little, in God's grace, whatever, but at least you were safe. The moment the price goes further up, you are really just in danger. Stock is king versus cash is king. When you have the stock, last week I had a short discussion with Mr. FARID, and he said the same. When you have the stock, you can make the windows. You can make the windows in a week's time. You can make the windows maybe in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And for the other person who has to organize everything and then maybe isn't available as quick as is needed, cannot take the order even if the price was better. This is a point where all of us have to look into. My personal opinion, stock is king. Whatever you can do, please do it. Squeeze your product range. Then whenever you keep a lot of stock of different items, so it becomes again a problem. As more the variety is there, as more is the risk that something is missing. Try to think in what profiles, what colors, what designs you really want to do to make it as lean as possible, so that with a same amount of money, you have actually the chance of putting of having the chance of making maximum turnover and maximum revenue out of it. Last point, escalation clause. As of now, not really there, but as more, if all of us, we 3,000, if we 3,000 people will talk from tomorrow to our customer about an escalation clause, an exit clause, it will change. It will change as more people are doing it. And when we say, oh my God, I lost the order because else is doing it, then I only have to say, and this time, again, only my personal opinion, this is not my opinion, Mario opinion, have the patience. When you have a company, have the patience to go safe. Because tomorrow you may, oh my God, you will start screaming when you have to make the loss, because the loss you have to pay from your own pocket. No one is going to ask you. This is really, really important. Fight for your brand, fight for your company, fight for your future, fight for your survival. Talk about escalation clause. Today the glass price is this. Everywhere seen, PVC price is this. They are, of course, from UTMA side, the way other industries are doing it, we can even highlight it. This is something what internally we can discuss, that we can say today's price is this, and whenever it goes up into certain direction, we can all together implement it. And same we are doing, even when I talk about our German companies, same we are doing in Germany as well, because there, again, it is the same uncertain what we do have over here. We are freezing a price on an extra raw material, and if any change is there, we do put it on paper to have the right to go back. And in case I'm going to lose an order for a reason that the customer is not accepting it, as more of us are going to accept it, as better it is for the industry, and whoever wants to gamble is going to gamble on their own risk. This always, maybe we are happy to lose the order because we are at least safe that we are not going into a risk which we could not really evaluate. This is a point where together we have to think, and maybe in working groups or in the Scepter and Chow from Vira, or we can see here north, we can see in what way something can be, should be implemented. Another last point of mine, what I would like to add is the duration time of the execution. In the past, we was always kept in a delay the moment we couldn't supply at a date which was actually signed and promised. We all together know that 50, 60, 70% of the projects are taking more time than it was initially frozen, committed to us. Usually the project is in a delay, not the execution. And there, in terms of the contracts, even when the customer is not agreeing to an exit clause, to an escalation clause, but then we should fix altogether a duration time. 3 months means 3 months, and within 3 months, it should be really completed. Or in 4 months, it should be completed. How much ever personal risk I would take on my own shoulders, this should be as a bare minimum, this should be really implemented in contracts, and I'm doing it. You get this price, but I'm out. So when we agree to theoretic sizes, or when we make the windows openings are not 100% ready, but we are shipping it to the site, so that because installation is not this much of a cost, what we all know, fabrication material is a cost, we should put a duration clause inside so that overall we and our industry is protected, because only when next year 3,500 fabricators or 3,300 or 3,600 fabricators are here and we are all happy, then we can say, wow, we did it. It was so uncertain from one pandemic, next pandemic, then the war. Now we went through 2 years or 3 years of literally raw material crisis, which no one has seen before, and somehow we made it. And we made it because we was looking wisely into the things and we wasn't gambling, because in the end, no one is really going to protect us at all. So this was my speech till here. I would like to ask whoever would like to have a comment, share your opinion. Either we are starting in the chat box, or Shobida, you can maybe unmute, so that overall one by one, I would like to get your opinion. Vera, when you can start as the first one, please share your opinion about this, how you're handling it, and how you see for the next couple of months in terms of raw material pricing, price stability, making the contracts, in what way you would like to have it, what would be the ideal situation. Vera, can you please unmute yourself if you're here? I think Jupiter, when the audience is 91, maybe you can unmute everyone. So, and then one by one, whoever comes first, then we can share a few opinions, and then going through one by one, so that overall, at least some of the points we can further note down, and on this, we would be happy of coming back.
Yeah, now I think Veera sir has unmuted himself, so he can speak.
Okay.
Or anyone who wants to to share their thoughts, as told by Mario, so then they can just raise their hands and we'll unmute them.
But Jupiter, I would like you unmute everyone, and we'll have a discipline so that it becomes more easy. Otherwise, we are going.
So
no, sure.
now anyone can unmute them. So I think Mr. Naveen Sharma wants to say something. Mr. Naveen Sharma, please.
Very good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Naveen ji.
Actually, currently we are working on one project in which we need the help of UWDMA members, because they have a lot of experience.
Right. So in what terms? Yep.
Actually, some other fabricators also quoted there, but there is no clause about the material cost. about which we are talking just now. So can we make some type of clauses if these quotation on the basis of these prices, if they will be increased, so we will change our project cost?
Okay, so Mario sir, he's saying the same thing, Mr. Naveen Sharma, that I mean, can we make a clause for the entire industry where at any point of that time where the price is going too much high and we're not able to bear it, then we can cancel the contract with the builder or the buyer. You can, and anyone can unmute himself. You can unmute. Yeah. Okay. Now try it out. Yep.
Now, okay. Also one thing is really important. UWDMA is not a cartel, and we just during the last couple of years, this was always a thing. What was kind of demanded. Important is we want to give the guidelines as an industry. We are talking with all of us, and again, as more of us are implementing it and working together, then it becomes a good known industry practice. We will again. Last year already we had showcased, it was in 2021, we have shown a letter on the UWDMA letterhead showing what is the raw material increase at the time when no one was actually agreeing that the raw material has increased. Now everyone at least agrees to it. Now we are looking one step ahead to somehow make this escalation clause or the time period clause, but there it is really on the individual together all as an individual becomes one. But we, as UWDMA, there's no chance for us that we are saying it has to be. We would love it has to be, but technically, by law, it is not possible because we are supporting the industry. We are supporting all the fabricators. But in this kind of commercial things, this would be not the right way of going. Shubhra, we have a lot of hands.
Yes, yeah. Mr. Rajendra Kamath, please share your thoughts with us.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I'm Rajendra Kamath from Royce uPVC Windows, Mangalore. My question is, Mario had put across very important point to ensure that there is exit clause and escalation clause in the projects you take henceforth. But do we have any instance among the fabricators here that anybody has won any contract recently? Maybe Lingel themselves or any other fabricators here have won a contract with such escalation clause included in their contract. If that is so, if they can put forward the views how it went ahead, it will be really helpful for all other members as well. Thank you.
What's important for me is I'll put the timeline in. 3 months, 4 months. The problem is when you got a multi-core project. There, I personally also I really don't have the answer. There, the best is really go hand in hand with your system provider at these uncertain times, because we all have to sell, and therefore we all have to win. We all have to survive. But whatever is there possible on your business model, and as much risk you want to take, 3 months, 4 months, yes, but in 4 months it should be executed and over. So these are the points which we are implementing, so and which are widely also agreed. But again, I can speak only from a case-to-case study. It can be completely different when you enter in a different business model, or what would happen in case if not, because this is also just, we had started this in the month of February, actually, when it became Jan or Feb more high. Then the problem was there, but as of now, all the projects are really into the time frame given. Interesting would be to see how I'm going to manage then on the day it is really going to escalate. And I have to say, we have agreed that in this point of time, everything should be actually installed or completed. But there again, my request was, or my idea is, you have to supply whatever is there, agree on the theoretic measurement and supply, so that your investment is at least at site to get your payment out, and we are not going to go in a delay. But it should be really from your company size, from your customer perspective, it should be, but give this timeline. This is my personal opinion, and this is what I would like to advise.
Mr. Srikanth, kindly unmute yourself.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
This is Srikanth from Andhra Pradesh, Nandyal. We have started our fabrication 3 years back. After for last 3 years, we are sailing in pandemic and many issues, and the very factor which we are discussing is mainly cost increase. The main other factor which as a fabricator I'm facing is apart from the quality giving, there is a lot of ill health competition in the market, which as a fabricator we are facing because of the complete price escalations in every product of the raw material. I see a quality profile or a whatever the China import or whatever the profiles we are getting, it shouldn't cost difference should not be more than 40-50 rupees. But we are seeing 100-150 rupees also in the market with the price competition. So I could understand easily that the quality of the fabrication is coming down. We really confused how to survive in this markets and providing a quality product in the long run. At the same time, we surviving as a fabricator. Though explaining to the customer about the quality, still the price is always a tinkling factor for the customer.
So my personal advice is, or my personal experience is, you have to check what happened when someone gives this price, which is is unreasonable. At times there's the price just half of your price or half of my price. So then you should only see what is the reputation of the company, since how long is the company there, how many projects they're actually doing, are they executing them? Because we also know that our industry actually really got over the years a bad name because of all those who went off of the industry or have given some at times substandard product, where overall we are struggling all together today. So this, you have to really, in your particular area, you have to study your market, you have to know your market, and you have to get, for your sales pitch, you have to get a lot of opinions or a lot of true facts, a lot of projects which went in the incorrect way, so that on those kind of case studies, you can explain yourself what actually went wrong. This is, again, my personal advice, not my advice. This is the personal advice from my side.
Mr. Pushkar, kindly unmute yourself and ask your question.
Good afternoon, everyone. My question is, as we are doing B2B and B2C, that raw material prices are rising very quickly, but we are able to get
your
high prices
is not so good. We can't hear you properly. There's a problem in your internet connection. We can't hear the question properly.
शोभिता जी, मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि रॉ मटेरियल के प्राइसेस तो हमारे बढ़ जा रहे हैं, ठीक है, और वो फैब्रिकेटर्स उसको पे कर रहे हैं, बट क्या हो रहा है कि हम लोग आगे अपने जो एंड कस्टमर है ना, वहां पे प्राइस बढ़ा रहे तो प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, वो उसको एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर रहे हैं बढ़े हुए प्राइसेस को, तो उसमें कैसे हम लोग आगे फिर करें, क्लाइंट को कैसे बढ़े हुए प्राइसेस विंडो के एक्सेप्ट कराएं?
So he's saying that the raw material suppliers are increasing their prices, so of course they have to increase the prices of the windows, but the end customers, they are not accepting the increased price. That, I mean, so what he can do in that scenario?
Of course, this is the entire topic of today. This is the topic of today, because this kind of a price rally no one has seen before, and when in projects you are stuck into a commitment, therefore it is really advisable you put this end date, how to continue with the current projects. So this individually you have to, how to say, for you as a personal brand, as a company, you have to see about your survival first. In the worst case, you have to check with your legal department. So, but again, I'm the wrong person to give any advice when we are already stuck. We have to see in what way we are going to plan it for the new contracts in future, where you are already working it and where the project was in a delay. Then you have to read again your purchase order, your contract in detail. What is written over there, you speak to your legal team. So what can be taken, in what way you should go, because it is clear, and one of my last slide has shown this, when your raw material cost is more than your sales cost, so this is suicide. It is absolute suicide when your raw material cost is higher than your sales cost, and this you will also not be able to survive. You will not be able to survive this for long. This is 100% clear. So, but therefore, again, you look in the contract what you have. You please contact your your legal advisor, and then make it really on a how to say, on a base-to-base study. When you have sufficient order, a mix of orders, then this one order runs in loss, and I don't think that anyone has made a good result in this last financial year in terms of balance sheet, because the cross went up, but on the bottom line we have huge problems. This problem is there with everyone. You need to have a mix of orders with new orders which are calculated on the higher price. Otherwise, it will be really difficult for you.
So anyone else wants to ask any question, then please raise your hand. Okay, so Mr. Sritam Samantare, please kindly ask the question.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, sir. My name is Sritam Samantare, and thank you for giving such an insightful presentation. Sir, my question to you is, like, if there is a price rally going on of the raw materials and everything, if they are not accepting, so let's just give a standardized. Why don't we keep a a price which will be like, if it fluctuates, the minimum price should be standardized for every manufacturing fabricator. Like,
difficult. It is.
so if someone has stock, so he might give it at the current price, like he can give it to the the client. But if someone doesn't have stock, so its material cost is becoming high, so he will have to charge more price, so he will lose client. So why not keep according to the rise in stock price, the rise in raw material prices? Why don't some board standardize the price for
It
every
would mean,
rise?
like, even for example, when we look at the at our UTMA system providers, at our UTMA system members, I think even there we have a 20, 40, 50, 60, 70% price difference there itself, because every brand, every system positionings themselves, and everyone has customers, and this is very good that everyone has customers, and whoever has more stock has then even more customers. But even there's a philosophy behind, so there's a brand positioning behind, so that then there are also different systems behind. What is smaller system, bigger system? It is very coming from the hardware. Then you can say, okay, I'll work only on the bare minimal steel which is needed. Other people will say, oh, for me is minimum this. I'm working only with a stainless steel hardware. No, for me only I use only a crescent lock or an Coxper handle. These are something
Very complex.
The rate is actually fixed in DSR book. So this is the only book where the rate is fixed. But even there, the contractors tries to, because this is the rate towards the government. But how the contractor is going to buy, he will again try to negotiate and squeeze with you. It is impossible, because in terms of incoming material, there is so much of an wide. It is
Wide.
And
yes,
if the answer would be easy today, I would have come with a white paper and I would have say step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, UTMA, we are all done and we are all the winners. So answer isn't easy. So that's why we are just discussing, and we are really happy, and we are asking for any kind of an information or any kind of an advice or just for process, so that overall we can structure it and we can share it amongst all of us, so that we are going, as I said, next year, after 1 year, going to be all together here and more here, and all are happy. But in setting a fixed rate in place, as per my opinion, it will be difficult to achieve.
So Mr. Naveen Sharma has raised his hand once again. So Mr. Naveen Sharma, kindly ask the question.
शोभिता जी, मेरा अभी जैसे मैं सुनना था, सर बोल रहे थे कि कॉक्स पर हैंडल दे देंगे तो वहां पे कॉस्ट कम आ जाएगी। तो हम उडमा के जो मेंबर्स हैं, जो भी मेंबर्स हैं, हम टोटल नंबर्स हैं और टोटल बोर्ड ऑफ मेंबर्स जो भी हैं, तो हम कम से कम एक स्टैंडर्ड तो बना सकते हैं, क्योंकि जो उडमा के मेंबर्स हैं वो डोर में विंडो का स्टैग नहीं लगाएंगे, इतने मतलब 1200 की हाइट में हम कॉक्स पर हैंडल नहीं लगाएंगे। So this type of लिमिट्स हम डिफाइन कर सकते हैं ना एटलीस्ट कि आप उडमा के मेंबर, तो आप ये गलत नहीं कर सकते, आपको एटलीस्ट 1.2 mm 1.5 mm थिकनेस आपको यूज करना है.
Yes, yes, these all
Let
things
me,
already.
let me answer this question.
Have you understood it?
Let
Okay.
me answer the question. Point number one is that since the year 2010, we are in touch with the BIS.
एक्चुअली है क्या सर, मैं आपको बताता हूँ. अभी मान लीजिए मैं ही हूँ, मैं आपके उडमा का मेंबर बन गया, अब मैं आपके उडमा का नाम यूज कर रहा हूँ कि देखिए सर मैं उडमा में मेंबर हूँ और मैं उडमा सर्टिफाइड फैब्रिकेटर हूँ, तो मैं आपके सर्टिफिकेट को यूज कर रहा हूँ. अब मैं मान लीजिए कल को कुछ गलत काम करता हूँ, विंडो की जगह मतलब डोर की जगह विंडो का हैंडल लगाता हूँ, तो आप कुछ तो एक्शनेबल होना चाहिए कि भाई आप उडमा के मेंबर हो तो आप डोर में विंडो का हैंडल नहीं लगाओगे. तो अब मतलब ऐसे गंदे काम नहीं करेंगे आप.
There was one slide which was very important from Mr. Satish from Deceuninck, that from the system provider advice towards the fabricator between a good and a bad, right, and the low quality window. For us, we as UTMA, we do have our fabrication guideline. We have our fabrication guideline. And what I was just starting my speech was that since the last 12 years, we are there on the BIS. And now the profile standard is really, really done. Really done, 99% it is really done. And there it is written, you need this test certification for your profile. And this is where the strong weapon comes in. And the window performance standard, we are, I would say we have reached 80%. They want to push us in this year. And once the standard is really coming in, if you want to make a window as per the standard, substandard windows you can still make. If you want to make a window as per the standard, it will be really, really the best. The amount of testing which will be written in the standard is amazing. Then you can waive off Coxbar, you can waive off discretion lock, you can waive off all these things. Then we don't even talk about a single door, sliding door without hurricane bar. If we have a chance, and it looks really good, that the standard is really going to be implemented, then the entire evolution of our uPVC window and aluminium window as well, any window, is going to make a significant jump, because they are testing for all kinds of parameters, and then all those substandard things will be waived off.
एक पॉइंट है मेरा, देखिए प्रोजेक्ट में आप टेस्टिंग करा सकते हैं, लेकिन रिटेल कस्टमर को आप कैसे बोलेंगे आप टेस्टिंग कराइए?
Customer is not going to get it tested. We are going to, as a fabricator, you are going to get your windows tested. Customer नहीं कराएगा, आप कराएंगे.
The windows are getting tested either by you or the system provider, and then then it is exactly written, this hardware, so many locks, number of locking points are written, how much is the thickness of the reinforcement, what is the hurricane bar, what is provided. All these points are written there in the test certificate, and then again UTMA is the perfect body to educate that those points should be shown to all our consumers. What differentiates it really from a Coxbar to a multi-point lock, or to a normal one and door in a window profile to a proper sliding door with a hurricane bar? So anyone else? I'm missing some hands. Please. It would be really good. I'm really happy of having still 73 people in the audience. Shobita, if we can change also the language, we can continue in Hindi as well. No problem. Definitely, you will be able to answer most of the questions from your side, having your vast experience and so many learning sessions already done on and with UTMA. Please, whoever is there, please unmute and come in with your thoughts.
Okay, so there is a question in the chat box from Mr. Vijay Oja. He is writing the same question, and then as was asked earlier, that we should have a regulatory body for having control on the price fluctuations. Can it be done?
On price, it's not. It is not possible. It is not possible. It's not possible.
Yes. We are having one more hand raised by Mr. Soumya Prakash Mahar. Sir, kindly unmute yourself. Mr. Soumya Prakash, kindly unmute yourself.
Are you able to unmute the participant?
I can just ask to unmute.
Hello.
Yes, yes.
Yes, very good.
Hello, sir. Are you getting my word?
Yes,
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 yes.
very clear.
सर मैं हिंदी में बोलना चाहूँगा जैसे सर मतलब day after day lots of price increase in reinforcement for uPVCs, hardware, glasses, and right now lots of competitor is there, like we are the UWDMA member, some members are some और भी फैब्रिकेटर हैं जो कि UWDMA मेंबर्स नहीं हैं, वो हमारे से जो कंपटीशन करते हैं, हम आगे जाकर उनको बहुत जगह में हमको प्राइस में कस्टमर को जो हम कोटेशन देते हैं उस कोटेशन से बहुत ही लो प्राइस में मतलब विदाउट जीएसटी विदाउट ये करके वो बहुत ही कम प्राइस में मार्केट में ये बेच रहे हैं प्रोडक्ट्स। तो हम उसको कैसे मतलब फाइट कर सकते हैं, जैसे कि हम तो हर चीज विदाउट क्रेडिट में परचेज करते हैं सारा माल मतलब, और नेक्स्टली जब हम कस्टमर को देते हैं 50% एडवांस लेने के बाद आफ्टर फिटिंग 50% लेते हैं। बहुत जगह कस्टमर मतलब पेमेंट्स में भी प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट करता है, आफ्टर फिटिंग्स कोई देने में बहुत लेट करता है और प्रोडक्ट का प्राइस बढ़ते चल रहा है, आगे रुकने का नाम ही नहीं ले रहा है। आप कुछ इसमें मेरे को कुछ आइडियाज दीजिए, जैसे कि अपन मार्केट में मतलब एक होलिस्टिक मार्केटिंग करें और हमको मतलब उसका बेनिफिट्स मिले, मार्केट में सस्टेन कर सकते हैं। प्लीज सजेस्ट मी सर।
Can I answer this question, Mario sir?
Sorry, this was, I really couldn't get it. Sorry,
Okay,
it was about the payment terms.
No, no. Actually, it's about. I mean, he's saying that there are so many fabricators who are selling low grade products at a very very low price, that too on cash basis. So how to compete with them, and at the same time, as we all know, that prices are going high. So how to cope up with that? So Mr. Soumya Prakash, the first thing is, हम सबको पता है मार्केट में इस समय होता है, मार्केट की जो कंडीशन है इट्स क्वाइट बैड। बहुत सारे फैब्रिकेटर्स जिन्होंने मार्केट की कंडीशन खराब कर रखी है बिकॉज वो लो एंड प्रोडक्ट, लो ग्रेड प्रोडक्ट बेच देते हैं लो प्राइस पे। बट फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल जो अभी सर ने कहा, मारियो सर ने, कि वी आर गोइंग टू हैव अवर UWDMA स्टैंडर्ड्स। तो वंस ये प्रोफाइल स्टैंडर्ड्स और विंडो स्टैंडर्ड्स आ जाएंगे तो उसी टाइम आधे फैब्रिकेटर्स जो लो ग्रेड प्रोडक्ट बेच रहे हैं वो आउट हो जाएंगे, बिकॉज आप वहाँ पे बोल सकते हो कि हमारी विंडो, हमारी प्रोफाइल ये स्टैंडर्ड पास कर सकती है, और वो जो बंदा whoever is selling at a low price वो इन स्टैंडर्ड्स को पास नहीं कर सकता। और दूसरी बात, आपके प्रोडक्ट को कैसे पोजीशन करना है वो आपके ऊपर है, बिकॉज ऑफ कोर्स अब आप जब क्लाइंट को बोलोगे कि सर कार आपके सामने, आपको मारुति बाय करनी है या मर्सिडीज बाय करनी है, ऑफ कोर्स मारुति का रेट कम होगा, मर्सिडीज का ज्यादा होगा। तो वहां पे आप अपने प्रोडक्ट को कैसे पोजीशन करते हो वो आपको अपने हिसाब से पोजीशन करना, आपको दिखाना पड़ेगा कि सर आप मारुति बाय करोगे तो आपको 2 लाख देना है, बट आप ऑफकोर्स अगर आप मर्सिडीज बाय करोगे तो आपको उतना पैसा देना पड़ेगा। और जो भी आपके पॉजिटिव पॉइंट्स है यहाँ पे शो टू देम। Yes,
my personal opinion, you utilize the brand value of your system provider. This is also what was there, and maybe many more people have spoken the same to Shobita, but I can again only because it was highlighted by SATIsh from Deceuninck. Whatever is your system provider, if your system provider is an UWDMA member, you have a very good system provider, you highlight the flagship of your system provider and go with them hand in hand, so that you have really a chance to differentiate yourself. You are standing there together with the brand, so and this will be such a strong synergy, and this is really going to help you. Whoever is UWDMA member went throughout all these tests. Latest tests, of course, we got from Gealan, where the testing is going on, but without submitting these tests, the member is not approved for UWDMA. So this is, of course, this is the first criteria which we, as of now, not having with us as a fabricator, but overall with the profile member, it is there, and you utilize the brand value of your system provider, take them hand in hand, so that overall you are going to have a successful future.
So we have another hand raised by Mr. Shahzad Shah. So please unmute yourself and ask the question. Shahzad sir, please sir, आप unmute कर लीजिए अपने आप को and please आप अपना question पूछ सकते हैं.
Good evening, sir. My question is related to the total cost which you have mentioned in your presentation. This is, I mean, this is overall same or for everybody, or it is, I mean, it is the overhead cost which is you have shown here.
The presentation had started with the cost factor, and there, hypothetically, on a company size of 25 shop floor workers, and then hypothetically on certain amount of a square feet. When you watch the video, or we do have also the PowerPoint presentation, and Shobhita would be happy of sharing it with you. And we have made already at least 10 roadshows where everyone has agreed, yes, this is right, this is right, this is right. So, and based on the number of turnover, based on the number of square feet which you can make with 25 workers at your shop floor, we have reached to a certain amount of overhead cost, fabrication cost, 56 rupees in projects and 100 rupees or 99 rupees for retail. This was based on the industry experience since the last 6 years. And presentation is there, video is also there. Shobhita will be happy of sharing it.
This is the total overhead cost.
Yes.
Excluding installation.
Excluding installation, yes.
बट ये डिपेंड करेगी सर, बिकॉज जैसे हमने लिया हुआ है इसके अंदर की आई मीन नंबर ऑफ सेल्स टीम पर्सन, वो सब अलग अलग है. सो जो आपका है आप उसके हिसाब से उसको थोड़ा मॉडरेट कर सकते हैं. तो आई एम वंस अगेन, मैं एक बार शेयर कर रही हूँ जो वीडियो का लिंक. सो आप उसमें देखेंगे तो आपको वो एग्जैक्टली पता चल जाएगा कि हमने कौन कौन सी वैल्यूज ले रखे हैं. Once again, I'm typing the link in the chat box.
All right, thank you.
Anyone else? किसी और को question? Anyone else would like to ask any question? Or any suggestions you would like to make कि हाँ ये करेंगे तो सबके लिए better रहेगा, हम ये कर रहे हैं, ये अच्छा जा रहा है तो हम लोग ये कर सकते हैं. I mean, what you are doing right now and you think it's working well for you, so you can suggest to others also. You can give a suggestions also.
And I would say thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. We still have 70 members here inside, and it is just a kickoff. And of course, during this financial year, we are planning a lot of real one-to-one roadshows and hoping that no lockdown is going to come shortly. We really have to see the way it was there during the year 2017 and 18, where at least twice a month we went to some city, and the same we want to restart, fresh start again, so that we can sit together in the evening, making the sit out and discussing, exploring in what way the industry should go. And in these uncertain times, then definitely is even more important that we have someone who is facing the same problem, and that we are not sitting there as competitors, we are sitting there as industry friends, and we are discussing openly plus minus points where the industry or where we are into and solutions what we are looking at. Once again, I would close it in a way, it is not easy. Business was never easy. At the moment, it is not easy at all. And therefore, it is only important, drive only as fast as you can see. Be careful, be conscious, because on the end, when something goes in the wrong direction, no one is going to help you. This should be all understood to all of us. I can slow down my business. I can, in the worst case, even shut down my business. But when I go something and then I become in payment default or whatever, it should not happen while someone else made something doing to you, which you actually know from the beginning, it would be a wrong thing or a problem of doing it. In this way, thank you so much. And we'll keep on having this kind of shows even here over the Zoom. And thank you so much. And Shobhita is going to announce shortly what is the next topic in the next session, which is going to come up. Thank you so much for your afternoon, and bye-bye.
Thank you. Thanks to everyone for joining us today. Thank you so much. And thank you to our media partner, WFM Media, for helping us in the broadcasting.